Back, literally. Like he's standing on my shoulder. Welcome everybody to How Times Change, and the time is changing. I got a man blowing leaves with no leaves behind me. You know. All right. Welcome to How Times Change. I'm 6'5" Mirror. We're here every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and this show is about social norms and different things that have changed over past, present, and future. We like to tackle different topics that are conflict with our daily lives and things that we might have seen our parents, grandparents, or other people in history go through. Wanted to talk about fantasy and reality due to a lot of things that are popping up in the network these days, where people are becoming more plugged in, like as if the internet and other things have become the matrix. All right. I don't know why my notes just fell right on out. All right. So people in the chat here. I know I'm not the only one that does this, but do you guys often daydream? Take yourself out of your current reality and put yourself somewhere else. A lot of people do this while they're at work, while they're at school, activities that they don't normally want to do. You know, um, for me, for instance, I feel like every time I go to sleep, I dream about lavish things that I don't do or never have done. You know, you daydream all the time. Nice, nice, nice. So when people daydream, what's something that they commonly daydream about? You know, things that always link us together. We always dream about certain things the same as other people. And that's a getaway, right? We're always trying to figure out the next getaway. You daydream about your past and your future. Nice, nice. I I daydream about my past sometimes, where I think of things that I've done and I'm like, man, if I would have just did this, would it change all these different things in my actual reality? So I've had things happen where I decided to play football more than basketball. You know, I'm like, would I have been better at basketball, or would I went farther in basketball if I'd have took it more serious? If I would have went to a historical black college versus going to a regular university, what would my life experiences be like? And sometimes I often find myself daydreaming or dreaming about a future that I never had or a past that I never took, you know? Yeah. So these days, when it comes to past versus present, you know, your actual reality, can most people think of a point in time where they literally did something that they felt would change their entire life? Like it's always one moment in your life versus all the things that you've done that you feel like, if I would have never did this specific thing, I would never be here at the moment I'm at right now. And everybody has that one thing. Now we're not talking about you regretting that moment, because sometimes when you do things, they're not necessarily a regrettable moment. You know, I've like, for instance, one of the biggest changes in my life. I always tell people, 2017 was one of the greatest years of my life. I made almost the most money I've ever made, and I traveled and I did all kinds of things. What's up? What's up? In 2017. Now, believe it or not, another good year for me was COVID. COVID was bad for a lot of people, you know. Um, COVID ruined a lot of people's lives and it hurt the economy and it did so much. But for me, it was like it was like that wake up call. It was like, look, if everything shut down today, you don't have a leg to stand on. You know, what's up, pretty? How you doing? It it put me in the mindset because at first I could say that my life was a daydream. I'm completely daydreaming. I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I'm living in this fantasy world that nothing could ever happen. Nothing would ever shut down. My job will always be there. I always have money coming in. And then boom, COVID hits and everything just goes away. And it took a lot of people back to a sense of prehistoric days because now it's like the grocery stores are closed because the workers don't want to go to work. So how are you going to get food? You can't go to your job because a lot of people's jobs are e-commerce and it based off of trade and selling of something between different companies and everything like that. So it forced people to figure out little things to do. Now, for myself, the company that I was dealing with before COVID, it was like a never going essential job, right? The essential jobs, like people that worked in the hospital, people that did sanitation, certain things like that. The new reality became I have to go out there and get a job, right? Now, I know I'm not the only one that believes in a safety blanket, right? Do people feel like people that get comfortable, right, in their life is their safety blanket, right? And then when you experience things such as getting laid off or getting fired or something that snags a lot of people, car problems, different things like that. You feel like everything has just been snatched away from you, where you don't know what to do, and you're not sure what the next day will bring for you. Right? There's plenty of people that have been in this moment, and like I've talked in the previous show. Where do you have to be at for your breaking point? Right? What state in your in your life do you have to be where you're like, I just give up, I give up, I completely give up, I'm gonna go lay underneath a bridge, I'm gonna start drinking, I'm gonna start doing drugs, and I'm doing this stuff to cope with the day. Where do you have to be at for that to happen to you? Now, when you put too much into the fantasy world, I know nobody wants to meet that point. When you put too much into this fantasy world and your safety blanket around you, you're not ready for certain things in the world to smack you. A good instance was like, hey, look, everybody in here was 18 at one time, right? We were all 18 at once, fresh out of high school, ready to go to college or take on a trade and everything. And our safety blanket is our parents. That's our reality. Our reality is our parents take care of us. And the fantasy is our parents are going to take care of us forever. We're never thinking about actually leaving the house. We might threaten our parents and do this and that, like, I'm going to leave, I'm going to move out. But in the back of your head, you don't got no intentions of leaving. You don't want to leave. You'll stay there. You'll be like the guy, the 40-year-old virgin. He was at home until he was 40, until he met a woman. But his safety blanket was his home and his parents. He never wanted to leave the house. You know, and a lot of us we experienced that early on. How are we plunged out into the world for the first time? All right. Okay. Now, do you feel like people create a fantasy world to stay out of trouble. I was reading something about this where people that necessarily don't walk the right path create a alternate reality where they're the model citizen, you know, or they create one where they're the opposite, where when you watch TV and somebody's like getting into it on the TV, and you're like, oh, I would have slapped her. She would have did that to me. Whole time, you're not really like that, Not saying you're not about that life, but you wouldn't really do that. But in another world, you'd be with all the BS, you know, on TV or in another reality. What things have you guys thought about? I don't know why somebody keeps calling me. When you get lonely, oh, hey, look, we all have definitely done been there. We all done been there for sure. Um, okay, okay. You imagine you guys at a club, and that's definitely a turn up. Play some loud music and dance. I feel that. I feel that. That's definitely a thing where I used to be younger and I lived away from my brothers. And I used to always be like, man, I wish my brothers stayed out here, Still, you always reminisce on those times when you guys were younger and you were all together and it was fun. I remember at one time I had a group of guys that I used to hang out with, and we used to be like 10, 20 of us deep, and we would always go to the mall. And it was ritual for us to get kicked out of the mall every weekend. We literally got kicked out of the mall every weekend. Like that was the thing, you know. And we didn't have to do much to get kicked out either, you know. Running around, yelling at people, going in and out of stores. They would kick us out all the time. But they never banned us from the mall. They would always kick us out. Then they started coming up with rules like you can't walk in a group of more than 3 people. You're in a group more than 3 people, you guys got to disperse. The fantasy that we had is that we run the mall, that they can't handle us. This is our spot. In all actuality, all they had to do was call the cops and we'd all go down. But they never did that though, because we did use money. We actually bought stuff, it wasn't a total waste. All right. I talked about this one with one of my sisters yesterday, not even last night, yesterday. Game versus appeal, right? Now, I'm not trying to attack the ladies at all. I'm not trying to attack the ladies. But in a relationship, the man is supposed to be the one with the game, right? I'm supposed to come up to a woman and spit game, get her number, and all this, and that, right? They say that women don't have game, right? That their game is just how they appeal to a man, whether how you look. I know the eyes is about to come out. I'm just going off of internet sources and conversations. You know, um, all women have to do is look good and talk the right game at that moment. Their game only extends beyond the first conversation. It doesn't extend beyond the first conversation. That very initial conversation is that how we get hooked in, and then the rest of it is dependent on the man's game. That's what's said. I mean, I could be lying, but I was reading stuff. I was reading what it said. I feel like in in reality, who really holds all the cards in a relationship when you're talking to that person? You always see things happen, and we'll say somebody cheats or whatever, and the man is always the one that cheats most of the time, supposedly. and always begs the woman to come back, right? There's not too many instances where we see women falling out on their knees, standing in front of the house, blasting music, baby come back, I miss you. You don't that's like unheard of, We don't hear about that too often, right? But it happens, it does happen. Do you feel like men create a fantasy that women would be falling at their feet, begging for them to come back to them and different things like that? It don't happen too often. I've never seen it. But maybe somebody creates in their head like if I leave, if I leave, she gonna be back. She ain't gonna leave me. You know what I'm saying? She gonna come crawling back. That's the fantasy you living in. That's like it's an alternate reality that's not gonna happen. If you're not handling a certain situation or business, your business or whatever, there's no way that she's gonna be falling at your feet talking about baby, I'm sorry, and all that kind of stuff. Now, we know a lot of people these days like to live in that if a guy's not taking care of me, I don't want to deal with him kind of thing. So I can see if you're the financial crutch for this young lady and you leave her, she might do that because she doesn't want to lose that income that you bring to her life. But if it has nothing, if it's not income based, what would make her what would make her want to come back? You know, stop creating a fantasy that every woman wants you. You know, every woman doesn't want you. Every man doesn't want you. It's a fantasy. There's definitely somebody for everybody, but you to assume that everybody wants you, that's wild. What's up, man? Music, music videos. You guys ever put yourself in a music video as if you're the rapper or the singer to live out the lifestyle that's in the video? Said trying to catch the details. Talking about fantasy and reality. Have you ever put yourself in a music video as the main character or one of the characters to live out that fantasy of that video? Okay, okay, Yerk. Well, what you thinking about? What's one of your favorites? I sing like Whitney Houston and dance like Kelly Rowland. Oh my God, that is an interesting mix. I'm gonna just say that is an interesting mix. Kelly Rowland and Whitney Houston put together is wild. But that's why it's a fantasy. That's exactly why it's a fantasy. Now, I can't as a backup dancer. Oh, okay, 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 Hey, you know what? To be honest, when you look at a lot of videos, the backup dancers are definitely doing more than the main person for sure. You know, they're definitely doing more. So we have somebody in the box. Are you from Philippines? Philippines. So look, definitely, I can say like, let me think. You always want to be that guy, not necessarily like a drug dealer or something like that, but you want to be that guy that walks in and all the girls love you. You know what I'm saying? All the dudes want to be you and shake your hand, and this is money flying down in the club or wherever you at. You, yeah, everybody wants that kind of reality, and you got to work to get there for sure. Hello, thank you for the faves, guys. Not you. Well, so what's your vision? What's your vision when if you put yourself in a in a music video setting? What does it look like around you? you know. Not you either. I feel that. I feel that. So I kind of like I kind of like the lavish like house and cars kind of thing. Not necessarily the money, but more like the houses and the cars. Like um, kind of like Nipsey Hussle. You know Nipsey Hussle's videos and stuff. You see him, he's always in a big mansion. He always has these nice fly cars, a private jet. Like stuff like that. Okay, okay, anonymously, yeah. Okay, I like that. Oh yeah, the island, the beach. Because when you watch those videos where it's beaches and islands and stuff like that, it's always like, where is that beach at? Where is that at? Because you can travel there, but it's wherever they're at. It's just different. You know, it's a different spot. They're on like the perfect area with the white sand and the blue water, and you're just like, where are you at? Like, where is this video taking place? Everything looks perfect in the video. Everybody's hair is done. You got perfect dresses, perfect shoes. Everything's just perfect for you. Yeah, yes. How do I get there? Hmm. For sure, for sure. Excuse me, guys. But that's one of the big things is like, how do we turn our fantasy into our reality? You know, of course, we're always going to say hard work. Hard work is going to always get you there. But when it comes to things like traveling the world and different things like that, you really don't need to work that hard to do it. You just got to save your money the right way and plan the trip. If you plan the trip, you're going to get the money most of the time. If you want to go to Jamaica or Bali or look, the lotto, look, man, the lotto, that is crazy. You hit the lotto, you can do whatever you want to do. But playing the lotto your whole life, hoping for that one hit, you can't do that. But but play plan ahead. Like, hey, I want to go to Vegas. Go book a trip out. Give yourself like 6 to 7 months or a year. Be like, hey, I want to book this, and that. And then you're like, how much is it? All right, from this day to this day, I'm gonna save and I'm gonna go. You know, when you look at things like I was telling my friend he wanted to buy a pair of Jordans, right? And I was like, if you save $3 to $4 a day, you'll be able to buy those shoes plus another pair. Think of it the same way as in a trip. It's like, look, if I put $100 aside every week I get paid, that's $400 a month. I'll do $400 a month times 8 or 9 months for my trip. You pay for your trip. Then the fantasy of you going to that place just became your reality because now you're gonna go there. Then you can get your vacation on. If you got enough to take somebody with you, or if you want to just go by yourself and lay on the beach, that's your option. Oh yes, a lot of people say that. I could get on here right now and be like, all right, what is your dream trip? Because I actually worked and travel a lot. You ask people all the time, what is your dream trip and what are you doing to go there? You know, and believe it or not, there's people's dream trips to go 2 states over from where they live at right now. And it's like, what's stopping you from getting in your car and driving 10 hours away? Like, what's really stopping you? You know? So, oh yeah, we live in that era of instant gratification for sure. Everywhere is my dream trip. I want to see the world. I like that. I like that. Yeah. I had a chance to go to Greece, right? And the trip was, I think the trip was $800 or whatever, right? And I made all the excuses in the world to not go. Oh, I don't got my passport. Then I got my passport. Oh, I don't got this. Then I got that. What's up, Nova? I made all these excuses and it was only $800. But it's like, why didn't I do that? Because I was worried about stuff going on in my current reality. Unless I could have stood out, I could have stepped out of my current reality to go visit a place that I've always wanted to go to. And now that opportunity, that opportunity has passed. But there's always another one because I can plan the trip again for myself. When you have options to go places and to see different things, always do it. And hey, I'm not telling you quit your job and go, but hey, I want to take 3 days off. If it only a vacation, 2 to 3 days is good. You can say that you went there. As long as you're in another place and you wake up there and you get to go out on that beach, maybe you're only there for 12 hours. You get to go out on that beach, lay in the sand, have some guy or girl rubbing lotion on you for a couple hours. You still did it and you still achieved something that you wanted to do. You took a fantasy and made it your reality. Oh yeah. Okay. But look, how do you guys feel about the VRs, virtual reality, where people, instead of a person actually going to these places, they put on a headset and now they're there. You know, you like that? See, I do that a lot too. People wonder how I make it to places too, and I'm like, hey, I work at a job that makes me like to travel. They send me places all the time. Oh yeah, yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, people definitely do that. That scares you. There's no way, because the thing is when you put on a VR set, all you're doing is seeing what's going on. You're not actually like experiencing it. You're seeing it, but you're not experiencing. You're not really feeling the air and talking to the people and all that. You're still unplugged. Yeah, it's a mental game, definitely. You have to want to physically be there. Your feet actually in the sand. You eating that food. You know, I like spicy food, so if I visit a place, they gotta have something spicy for me. I want to like eat something where it like makes me tear up. I don't want it to ruin my food. But I'm like, man, this is hot. I love this. You know what I'm saying? You know, thank you. But it's the experience. Everything is about experience. So everybody that's in here, I challenge you. You know what I'm saying? To figure out that place that you want to go to and make plans to go there. Escape your current reality and go visit one of your fantasies. Go visit one of those places that you always wanted to go to. Go talk to one of those girls that you always want to talk to. Go talk to one of those guys you always wanted to talk to. Don't create a fantasy world where you live in that fantasy world. Like the relationships, you guys remember cartoons like, I don't know, you guys everybody old enough, but like Hey Arnold, right? Helga loved Arnold secretly, and he never knew. You know, they they might have did something one time in one episode or something, but we're talking about years and years and years. You standing behind the wall, fantasizing about somebody that you could have just went up to and talked to. So shoot your shot. The worst thing that can happen is they say no. But you can't miss every shot. You keep shooting, you're gonna eventually make it. You know, definitely, definitely. So everybody, if you in here, Welcome to How Times Change. I'm 6'5" Mirror, 6'5" in real life. And this is a show we like to talk about things past, present, future, social norms, etc., etc. You know. See, that's crazy. If he like me, he should approach me. What do you know? What if he's scared and nervous too? What if he doesn't know that you exist? What do you do if he doesn't know that you exist? Queen, what's up, Queen? You know, they might not never seen you like that. Say you walk past somebody in your hallway and you're like, oh, they're cute. Oh, he's cute, you know, but you never act on that. You don't know what that person thought when they walked past you. The universe will lead us together. Now, I don't know. Has anybody seen the movie Intergalactic with Childish Gambino? If you haven't and you guys got Netflix, go check it out. Royalty, what's up? Go check out that. Go check out that movie. Real dope. Yeah, I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but two people that might have an attraction to each other. Why not? You never know what something's gonna be unless you try. You could talk to a random person on the street tomorrow, and 4 years from now, that could be your husband or wife. You're a flirt. Look, some people take flirting very serious. Some people take it real serious. You flirt with me, we go together. Some people think that because you gave me a good compliment that you're just in love with me. And in all actuality, you're just being a nice person and giving me a compliment. Oh, if you're interested, oh, okay. If you ain't interested, you ain't doing it. Okay, okay. 727. I feel it. I feel it. What's up? And another one is 80/20, right? 80/20 would be like how people, when like we talked about like how people cheat on people, right? So I'm dating you, right? I got a girl, and you're giving me 80%, right? But I feel like I'm missing something, right? I feel like I'm missing something. You're giving me 80%, but I don't feel like you are. I go out and meet this new girl. She's complimenting me. She's doing things for me that I'm tricking myself into thinking that you're not doing, but you're really doing it. So that 20% to me is really the 100%. And then I leave my girl and go over there, and like they say, the grass is greener on the other side until you get over there, and it's like, hey, you know, you get over there, and you're hoping that 20% that you're getting from a side chick or a side dude or whatever turns into 100%. You just fantasize that this 20% is 100% for you. Your reality is that you got somebody already, and you need to just make it work. You know, it's to turn into a case. Just make it. Just figure it out. Nobody's gonna be 100%. You're not gonna meet nobody and be like, you're perfect. You're 100% to me. You know, nobody's gonna be like that. There's always gonna be something that somebody's lacking in to you. You know, there's always gonna be something. But I have to go, guys. I appreciate the fave. Hit me with a fave. I'm at work. I gotta go to work. My phone's getting ready to die. You know, I tried. I tried. You know, if you don't have me fave, hit me with a fave. We'll be back next week, Wednesday. New topic, another show. I go through the views and everything and talk to people. If you guys want to be on the show and different things like that, tap in with me or my people in the chat, Royalty and Maria. hit Royalty and Maria if I don't respond, and we'll get to it. Yep. Maria D tag on IG. You can hit me in mine 65 near Royalty. I don't know your IG, but you can hit Royalty also. I appreciate everybody coming. Good conversations, and I will fave some of you guys that fave me. So maybe we can have some more conversations like this. All right, y'all, we get out of here. Royalty tag. Look at that. Maria tag, Royalty tag. You know, and 65 mirror. I use it for everything, so I don't have tagged on mine. All right, you guys. Thank you.